Does your Himalayan have a saggy butt? That's just not right. Let's fix that. I've got the Himalayan racks. Even though I didn't buy the Himalayan Panniers, I've got some more saddlebags coming tomorrow that I'm going to install that are going to go on the rack. And the Himalayan racks are super sturdy. So let's get going. All right, so here is everything that we've got in the box. We've got the bolts that hold it together. We've got the wires, the pigtails that for the relocation kit. You've got part of the relocation kit down here. You've got the brace that connects the two in the very back. And then you've got obviously the two sidebars there. So we are going to get started. One thing I will make a note of, if you have bifocals, you might need to, or excuse me, if you have progressive lenses, you might want to get a magnifying glass because this is some mouse print right here. Looks like it's 30 steps to install these. So we're going to get going. Not a lot of time to waste. So the first thing we're going to do is take these ugly old saddlebags off. I can't wait till my new ones get here tomorrow. They are going to be nice. First step is to take off the seat and the pillion seat. There we go. There's my Fuel X Pro up inside there. This guy slips out. Disconnect the negative terminal. I always store the bolts back in the holes. That way I don't lose them. Next thing we're going to do is take this plate off right here. There it is. Starting to sag. There are three 10mm bolts up under here, and there are two hex bolts that you got to pull out, because all we're taking off is this part, actually. Okay. Getting some mud with it from the last ride. There's a zip tie up under here that we've got to cut because all these wires are bundled together. Luckily, I've got some extra zip ties. And there it is. It's off. Then we pull the indicators off next. The bolt is not fixed on the inside like it is on the front indicators. So I got my socket on the inside and I'm just keeping it secure with the Allen wrench on the outside. Undo this indicator, hang on to these. There it is. Pop it back. So when pulling the indicators off, just push them towards the front of the bike and then they should slide right out pretty easily. Now we're gonna take these guys out. We're taking the front luggage rack bolt off. It says to save it in case you take the Pannier kit off. Makes sense. And it says to take this towards the rear off as well. These bolts are tight. Okay, so just to give you a close-up of what we've just done, it's kind of hard to see, but this bracket is where the indicator lights were connected and the license plate light. So the gray one was the license plate. Actually, it's this little tab that I was having to lift up. Theoretically, you can just push that and it pops it up, but it wasn't really working. So I had to pop a screwdriver up underneath there. Okay, so it is about time to get this guy put together. So lines up right there. Look at that. You can see there's a mounting point up underneath here that the front part goes to, and then these two pieces back here. This popped up whenever I took the bolt out, but it's okay. Whenever we go to put it all back together, I'll just push it back down and it'll be great. I'm gonna put some Torx seal on these guys. So basically these are the three bolts that we're looking for. The Torx bolt is gonna go wherever the hole went, right here. And then these two guys go back where the others were removed. All right, so that is pretty doggone sturdy right there. We're gonna do the left side. So we got both these mounted. We're gonna leave it loose. That way we'll do the final tighten up whenever we're doing the last step. We're gonna take the tail light off. So we gotta disconnect this harness, which it's nice that we can see it. Two 10mm right there. And we're gonna pull the headlight light off. Already disconnected this from the harness. Okay, so we're supposed to take this back fairing off. Basically, it's just two 10mm nuts. This thing comes apart. This bracket comes free, and I believe we're about to replace it with the one from the kit. Got to remove the grommets from the OEM kit, and we're probably going to reuse them when we remount the lights. This is the kit with the grommets reinstalled. So then this all fits back together. Metal part fits through the big slot. Oh yeah, the bolt's right through there. That's what it should look like. Putting the light back in with the new bracket on it. This fits back through the zip tie here. Okay, we're going to put the back support up here next. The good news, just about every bolt on this bike is a 10mm. I don't want us to tighten it quite yet. Fair enough. So at this point, we're supposed to step back and see if this is centralized, otherwise known as centered, on the bike. And yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Okay, so now we're connecting these guys. Remember, that kind of goes at an angle. It's easier with the socket on the inside and the Allen on the outside, just holding it. It says connect the extensions to the main wiring harness, which I've already done up underneath here. Okay, so just so you know, left indicator light, the coupler is red. The right indicator light, the coupler is green. If you find that you've got your indicators remounted and there's stickers on top, like I just did, then you got them backwards. Time to reconnect this guy. Okay, so everything is mounted now with the correct indicators on each side. This probably shouldn't have taken this long, but I'm not a mechanic, and it always takes me longer than I planned. I'm just going to go do something real quick, and it turns into a really long project. But anyway, let's turn the key on, the ignition on, and see if the signals work. Ha! I was so excited to be done, but I didn't reconnect the negative battery. So I'm going to do that first. I know what you're thinking, that's not where the battery is, but there's a little bolt with a grommet that goes right in the middle of this as well that I didn't put in. Always suspicious when there's extra pieces laying around. It happens frequently whenever I work on things. All right, so that is good. Got the negative for the pigtail for the trickle charger. And we've also got the negative for the Fuel X Pro right there that we installed a little bit ago. Got to put all that back on. Okay, there we go. So I use this to pop the nut from underneath. If anybody's familiar with power sports batteries, the nut is loose and you kind of have to lift it up sometimes, especially when you start adding a lot of stuff to these grounds. Okay, now we're good. Let's take the key and turn it on and see how lucky we are. I know, luck's got nothing to do with it. So the right side is blinking faster, but that's because I'm missing the indicator up front that I broke off. I still haven't gotten a replacement for it. I did get a replacement, but they didn't work. And there we are, installed. So I'm going to walk through some of the challenging pieces. First of all, I don't like that. I will probably either do some kind of relocation kit for this altogether, or I'll probably drill holes up in the fender up underneath there because I don't like having wires poking out there. So this, whenever you take this off, it might be a good idea to go ahead and loosen the 2 bolts that are up underneath here that are holding the rack down there. But it was super hard to get this back down into position. I had to really ram on it with almost all of my weight. Other than that, that was easy. Whenever you go to take the mud guard off, let's see, there's these, the 2 bolts are right up underneath here. If you can see them, yep, there's one, there's the other on the other side. Whenever you do, this whole piece just comes down. So it would be handy if you had somebody else to help you kind of hold it all together while you're putting it back together. So I didn't have that. So it took me a little longer. I did put thread seal on all of the bolts. I did put the lights on backwards. And then I wondered, well, why is there a sticker showing on top? They weren't showing before. Well, that's because I had them backwards and they were flipped upside down. There are stickers up underneath. So if you end up with stickers out and up top, you've got them backwards. Remember, right side is green, left side is red. You can see I put some new little tank guards up on top here too. As I'm leaning forward and carrying stuff and getting off and on, this thing is just getting scratched up. So anyway, I got the tank pads here too, which these were awesome. The first time that I stood up, it was very nice having these here to help grip the tank and hang on to the bike. The biggest challenge with this whole install is the fact that the instructions are about this big and they should be about that big. I just had a really hard time reading them. I hope this video helps some of y'all out. If you're going to get this kit and mount it. I'm curious, let's throw the saddlebags over and see what they look like now. I heard the UPS truck pulling up as we were installing this. So that means my new saddlebags are here. All right, so if y'all remember the saddlebag picture from the beginning, these even look better. And like I said, they're just some old saddlebags that I got at Walmart a long time ago. But yeah, they've helped. They've carried some stuff, water bottles, safety kits, tire repair stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching the video. I hope that this helped. I hope that I can edit it in a way that it will make sense to everybody out there. If you have any questions, please ask me. I do believe that, I mean, this is not the lowest amount of weight that you can get probably for a rack. These guys are built out of cast iron, like a potbelly stove, and they are super sturdy. But that's kind of what I wanted. I wanted something sturdy that I'm able to rig just all over the place. So I think that these are going to accomplish that goal for me. Thanks a lot, y'all, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye-bye.